to share with you.
When we go.
And I know that it's the will of our Father that we totally trust Him. So in spite of circumstances, keep on lifting Him up. Patience you will find only makes your waiting seem so much easier. Leave things up to Him who is capable, knowing that victory is in His name.
There's a message in my heart, and I count it as my job to share it.
I gotta share it
with you, and I'll share it everywhere. The answer to
Happy to have in our midst today again Bishop Kenneth W. Paramore, Christ-Centered Church, both Barberton and Youngstown. I want to get right into it today. Tell us your ministry background, how you got started, who was influential in that, and just take us through that initial call to the gospel of Jesus Christ.
My call I received, I think I was 14 or 15 years old. I was young. My home church, Tabernacle Baptist Church in Youngstown, Ohio, we were in youth revival. John Pickney, a great preacher from Michigan, was doing a revival, and I heard God clearly tell me I was going to be doing what He was doing. And it frightened me, and I remember being at the altar saying, no, I'm not. So I went years, and I didn't answer my call until I was 20 years old. March 4th, 1987, I answered my call. At the United Baptist Church in Akron, Ohio, Pastor Roderick C. Pounds Solomon, Dr. Roderick C. Pounds Solomon was my father. He is my father in ministry. And I answered my call there. Just served, and within 3 years, I was called to, 4 years, I was called to the Shiloh Missionary Baptist Church. In fact, today, May 19th, is my 35th pastoral anniversary.
Wow, congratulations.
I've been pastoring 35 years now. So we started there, pastored there for 2 years. God blessed us. Moved from there back to my Watch Care Church, United. Pastored there for 15 years. And we planted Christ-Centered Church in 2004. July 6, 2004. And I've been there for the last 22 years.
Wow.
And so God has been really kind, man, allowed me to really be blessed. I have some people with me who have been with me the whole 35 years. So I'm grateful to God for that.
Wow. Let's go back. So, because I think I know when I met you, it was at United, and
you were a kid. You were a young preacher, yeah, and could preach too.
I was doing the best I could with the little bit I had.
Yeah.
But United, the growth that took place when you were there. Let's talk about that.
Yeah, you mean my growth or the growth of the church?
Both. Yeah, let's talk about both.
United was a great church, but it was a daunting experience. To put it in perspective, when I started at Shiloh, my first Sunday there was Women's Day. Ironically enough, my wife, who pastors and preaches now, just did their Women's Day Sunday.
Wow.
And so it was full circle for her. She started as a first lady, but now she was there pastoring. And so we started there, man. That Sunday, it was like 13 people in church. And so over the next couple of years, it would grow. Church would be about half full. And then going to United was interesting because iconic Black Baptist church in the city of Akron, Pastor Pound Solomon, prolific preacher,
yes,
known for preaching, comes from a history of preaching out of the Refuge
Columbus,
Refuge Baptist Church, Columbus. And so, I mean, a preaching machine, singer, dynamic preacher, and I wasn't him. And so when I first went to United Baptist Church, in the first 3 months, we lost 400 members because I didn't have that preaching style. Mm. So I just prayed and stayed and stuck with it. And the miracle of God is within the year, we had gained 600 new members. And so God,
and that's not preacher math either. That's not preacher math.
No,
yeah.
that's real.
Yeah.
I still got my baptism ledger and everything. And I was just humbled at God challenging me to be myself and do it the way I did it. And those people that left, he replaced them with that plus 200 more. And from that, we just we grew. We kept growing. And so in the time I was there, man, the church grew, but I grew. And I never quite enjoyed pastoring United. I enjoyed having church at United. And to explain that, when I got there, I was 26. I was 26 years old. And because of that, a lot of the people who came, they were between 25, 21, and 40. So there was just always drama. It was difficult to pastor because we were all growing up together. It was challenging. But by the grace of God, we managed it. But our worship experience was just epic. The pastorate was very challenging for me, and it grew me. It grew me to be patient. It grew me to be understanding, forgiving, but also it made me somewhat of a stern disciplinarian as well, because I wanted the church to be taken serious. Right. And so I learned that being there, but my father in ministry taught me, above all else, preach. Right. Make sure you study, make sure you prepare. And I'm of the belief that sound doctrine builds a church. Yes, sir. And I thank God for that teaching. So it was a great experience in that, like 2 services, both full. We remodeled the church. We built a state-of-the-art community center in the time that I was there. And I thank God, man, both for the people at Shiloh who trusted me as a kid. I was 24 when I started pastoring. And the people at United who groomed me and then brought me back in. I've been fortunate, man, as a pastor. I've always had great people. I haven't really been challenged by leadership. I've always had people to work with me and to help me grow and to support. So I don't have any horror stories. I've been tremendously blessed as a pastor, and I owe that to the people at Shiloh and the people at United.
So at United, you're now at 2 services. And
at United, two services, 8 and 11. Both of them are full. Everything is going great, really. And then I hear God tell me leave.
That's what I want to get to. Yeah, because we talk about stuff that really don't make sense. Man. So what is the period that you're wrestling? You're hearing God. What is that period like? Because you're still preaching, pastoring, leading people. But what is that? What is that like? Knowing that this is about to end, and then not knowing what's really next. Walk us through that, because most times, as we know in our scenarios, people leave churches because of issues and split churches. But I'm a witness that both services were packed. You were thriving. No
problems, no scandals, none of that, by the grace of God. Yeah. And I would not sit here and say I haven't done anything in my life that's scandal worthy. Yes, sir. I just thank God for the hand of God being on me. And in my ignorance, because I've done some stupid stuff. Yes, sir. In my youth. That could have ended terribly, but God just covered, and I thank Him for being that kind and holding everything together. But man, that church was full. Our Bible studies looked like Sunday morning. Yes, sir. Communion service was a community event. People came, so it was going great. But to your question, I resigned in '08. God told me to leave in 2003, but I didn't. And the reason I didn't leave, he told me to leave. I heard him, and my chairman, he's gone on to be with the Lord now, Wisemore Jr. He met with me. He didn't know what the Lord had said to him. He just met with me. He said, Pastor, you've been doing good, and we want to give you a raise. I said, oh, well, thank you. And he said, this is in 2003. He says, we're going to raise your salary to $150,000 a year. And I said, maybe that wasn't the Lord. maybe I'm tripping. So I didn't leave. Now, here's what's funny. From 2003 to 2008, I never got that salary. Whether it was bills or offerings, or they could never give me what they promised me. They always took care of me. They took really good care, but I never got that salary. And I think that was God trying to show me, I take care of you. And so finally in 2008, early in the year, money was tight. We were trying to do some things. And I said, we're not going to be able to do what we're able to do. I said, so I'm going to resign, because I couldn't ask my staff to resign. They were taking care of their families and all that. Because I think we had maybe 10 or 15 people on staff. Most of those people were full time. We didn't talk about it a lot, but United had $1 million budget.
Yes, sir.
For at least 6-7 years, and we were doing well. But we hit that wall, and I'd already launched the church in Youngstown. It was doing well. And I just said, I felt like I need to walk away, because I felt like the church was struggling. And you're one of the only people to hear this. So it wasn't frustration. I felt like if I get out the way, the church would be all right. They was trying to struggle to get me that salary that I never could get. And I said, okay, God, I hear you. I see you. And I resigned. And by no stretch of the imagination did the people want me to leave.
Right.
I thought I was being generous, spiritual back then, but actually it was arrogance when I left, because I told the people, don't come with me, stay here, we'll just leave. And so I didn't take anybody with me. I think about 7 people followed me out of a church that was looking at over 1,000 people every week. But that wasn't the Lord, because a lot of people got displaced. I learned that people don't come to a building, they come to a ministry. And I was that ministry. I was the leader of it. And when I left, a lot of people felt hurt, man. And I've apologized since about that. And I'm even apologizing again today in case some of them hear that. That was the wrong thing. I should have told those people where I was going, why I was going. But in that mindset, I was like, these people ain't going to talk about me.
Right.
And say I split the church.
Right.
So I left literally with nothing. 7 people found their way, and then we started the second church in Canton, Ohio.
Right. Yeah.
And that's how we started. But when I left out, man, the things were going great. But God had to show me, hey, you can't, if you're going to do this, you can't chase money. You got to really do ministry. So I walked away, and everybody thought I was nuts.
Oh yeah, it was. Oh yeah, that was the talk amongst preachers. Yeah, that's what is wrong with Paramore.
What's going on? There's got to be something going on.
No,
man. They still treat me great when I go back. In fact, I'm going back to help them celebrate this 100-year anniversary. My son in ministry, a great son to me, Pastor Kevin Rushing is the pastor there now. We're close, like family, and everything is good. But God stalled that money, because I was at a fork in the road. If they would have gave me that money, I probably would have served money for the rest of my ministry or for a long time. And God blocked that. He blocked it and showed me, I take care of you.
Wow.
And from that day to this day, my salary has been cut more than in half. And Pastor, I've never lost anything. Never had anything repossessed. Put 2 kids, 3 kids through college. God has been faithful.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
put them through good schools, and it's just been an awesome experience, man. So I'm humbled at how faithful God is if we just say yes.
Yes,
And
sir.
I almost blew that by taking the money,
Wow.
but He wouldn't let me. He wouldn't let me get it. He had other plans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, ministry requires money.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, and
Sure. Look, the church had it. He wasn't just gonna let me get it. we left him in good shape. And man, a lot of people don't understand this because I've never talked about it. But Pastor, back in that time, from like 95 till the time I left, our average offering back then was $12,000, maybe $15,000 a week, easily. It was a great situation, and then we had the community center.
Right.
We were
What
doing
was, because somebody may be watching, may
Gus
not know what was
Johnson
in.
Community Center was a vision that the church had for a long time. So when I got there, I made it my business to finish the work that they had started,
Okay.
not to just come in with a new plan.
Okay.
So we paid off we owed $200,000 on the existing building that Dr. Pounds had built. We paid that off in less than 2 years. And then we went on and broke ground. It was $1.4 million to build that facility. In it would be a daycare, adult day services, and an incubator for new professionals. And that's what we did. And that brought in probably $400,000 a year. So we were doing well. It was a great time for ministry. Our worship services, He'd always blessed me with great musicians and singers and all of that. So worship was fine. And I became me at United Baptist Church. That's where I developed my style, whatever that is. And I learned how to become true to myself in the preaching moment. And they let me do that. They were patient with me and let me grow to that place where I got comfortable with me. So it was going great, and then the Lord said, okay, time's up. It's time for you to go.
Okay. We're going to come back and talk about that, these 2 locations. We're going to music. We'll be right back. We're here again with Bishop Kenneth W. Paramore, Christ Center Church, both in Barberton, Ohio, and Youngstown, Ohio. Right back after this song. All right, we're back with Bishop Kenneth W. Paramore in our studios today. It certainly has been a delight so far. Want to jump into while you were at United, you said you started Youngstown location. Mm-hmm. So how were the people feeling when you introduced it? And then after you left, then we'll talk about both locations. But when you started, because you have 2 services, so how do you have time for a third service in a totally different city?
Just crazy. Just out of my mind. We were doing 8 and 11 at United.
Okay.
And I started the Youngstown Church with a Bible study. In fact, it wasn't supposed to be a church. I was doing this ministry thing, and I wanted to bring healing to people who were disgruntled with church.
And that's home. That's your home.
In my home in Youngstown. Okay. And so the name of the church was, the legal name of the church is Christian Revival and Discipleship Center. Yikes. But that's the name I had in my head, so that's what I put down. Nobody could remember it.
Right.
They couldn't get the initials right. It was just crazy. But that's what it was supposed to start as, man. So I was doing these sessions just on healing and loving and ministry. And we started that place with, I think, 8 people. And Pastor, 3 months went by, it was 100 people there. By the fall, September, in those quick months, I think when we started the first Sunday service in November with 200 people. And how that came about was in September, October, I was closing out the little study session we had. And I said, any more questions? And a lady raised her hand and said, I have a question. I said, okay, when are we going to start having church on Sunday? Because this is our church. We don't go nowhere else. And it erupted in applause. I said, are y'all serious? They said, yeah. And so we had that first service the second Sunday in November of that year, 2004. And man, the place was packed. And that's how it became a church. Wow. So it wasn't my intention. The people at United, for the most part, were supportive because they thought I was doing Bible study.
Okay. They
didn't see what was happening until a year later, in August of 2005, we had to buy a building. And when we bought the building, they came down for that service. And that's when it hit the people at United like, oh boy, this is a real church. And that's when they started getting a little uneasy about it. So for me, my challenge was to make sure I didn't cheat anybody. Good. So we did 8, 11, and 12. And then when we started the church in Canton, we were doing 8, 11, 12, and 6. So I was doing a revival.
On a Sunday morning, yeah.
Every Sunday. And that put a lot of miles on me. I'm sure it's part of the reason for the gray and all that now. And because I did that schedule for 3 years. Wow. From 2004 to when I resigned, that was the schedule. And they were supportive. The majority of United was very supportive.
So what is that like on a Sunday? Like, what time are you waking up? I'm sure you have a. Just walk us through, because I'm just amazed, because that's, when people talk about having one church at 3 locations in a city, but you're in 3 different counties, let alone So walk us through. Like, you wake up, just take us through the day.
So what happened? I was a big supporter and participant in Sunday school and all those things. But I had to change everything because of the schedule. So I would get to 8 o'clock, right when the choir was singing their second song without fail. And I would go in the office, put down my stuff, walk out and preach 8 o'clock, have Sunday school, and then we would do 11 o'clock at United. But I couldn't stay for the service. So I would literally preach through all the points and hand the microphone to my wife to do the invitation.
Wow.
And as she would do the invitation, I would find out later we would jump on the road because it would be about 12 o'clock at that point. Church started at 12 in Youngstown. I was trying to get there by 1. because I feel by the time they sang and did all the preliminaries, I could walk in the door preaching, and that's what I would do. I would go out of the car into the pulpit and preach, go up to my office at the Youngstown Church, and I would feed my driver and my armor bearer, and we would sit, watch some of the football game, but then we would have to leave out about 4:30 to get to Canton by 6. And that we did that every Sunday. So on Mondays, I couldn't do nothing.
Yeah.
Except try to get it back together again.
To do it again the next week.
The miracle I learned about that, Pastor, is when I got through on Sunday, I didn't have anything to say, anything to preach. And the miracle of preaching to me is not our gift, it's not our voice. It's how God talks to us between the time we finish and the time we have to preach again. That's the miracle. You know, when you preach and you get done, when you get done, I don't have nothing else to say. I've said it all.
Right.
And the miracle is God's grace, man, to give us something else to say by the time it's time to stand up again. And I learned to appreciate that miracle. And so that was the grind every week.
So are you preaching the same thing at each service, or?
At first, no.
Okay.
At first, no. I would preach a different message for United and a different message for Christ-centered.
Okay.
Then finally, I got wise or exhausted.
A combination.
But I started preaching the same message, and it worked. So even to this day, and it keeps the church on the same. Yeah. So even to this day, when I preach, and the format is kind of same. Preach service in Barberton, get done, jump on the road, and I get there preaching, but it's the same message.
Okay.
It comes out different, obviously.
Yes, sir.
But it's the same message. In the same Bible study, too.
Okay.
Tuesday tonight in Youngstown, Wednesday tomorrow in Barberton, but it'll be the same lesson to keep everybody on one. And it works better for me.
Okay.
Yep.
Talk about both locations, if you don't mind, Barberton and Youngstown.
Barberton, I'll start with Youngstown is the headquarters of Christian Christ-Centered Church. Our government name is still Christian Revival Assembly, but we do business as Christ-Centered Church. It's the headquarters. Just been a blessing, man, to be there. Great people, not church people, though. These are people, most of our congregation are people from the street, people who this is the first church they ever belonged to. But they're great people, and they're serious about the Lord. And I'm mixed in there. I got church mothers, people who've been in church all their life, but the majority of those people, this is their first generation in church. And so it's an awesome thing to experience. That church congregation may be between 300 and 400 people. Barberton is different. Barberton was birthed in Canton. We were in Canton for 3 years, and the church wouldn't grow. We never got above 30 or 40 people in Canton. And I think I may have been in Canton because I didn't want to be in Akron. I didn't want people to say he's splitting the church. And finally, after about 3 years of strong church, but not growing, great singing, not growing, it was Thanksgiving service, I think maybe 2010, 9. I said, we leave and we're going to relocate to Akron. We did. And then that church exploded in growth just by putting it back in the city of Akron. But we didn't experience any growth. The city, for whatever reason, didn't respond. They either didn't respond or rejected the ministry, and I don't know which one it was. All I know it wasn't growing.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And so when we came back to Akron, it exploded in growth. The Barberton church, which is now in Barberton, that started in Canton, we moved 9 times in 6 years. 9 times in 6 years. Each time we moved, the church grew.
Wow.
So God was really faithful in that. And we landed. Our friend, Minister Yolanda Brown, found the church in Barberton for us. And it was a Methodist church they were looking to sell. And I went in, looked at it, I liked it. And I said, well, how much are you asking? And pastor said, how much you want to pay? So we bought that church for $60,000. We've been there for the last 12 or 13 years. They were great people, but they had a congregation of about 10 people, and it was overwhelming for them. So they merged with another Methodist church there. Now combined, Pastor, the church, I maybe have 100 or 200 people now in Barberton, and about 300, 400 there. So combined, I have a solid 300 to 400 people. And so imagine doing that from looking at 1,000 people every week.
Yeah.
And I don't look at it as, I remember I was teaching a class with young preachers, and one young preacher said, so how do you deal with, being demoted by God? And I had to look, man, I had to breathe and count from 10 backwards. I was like, what? Yeah. And so I that was an honest question, because, that's what ministry is.
Right.
Ministry is numbers now.
Yeah.
And I had to tell him, I said, I don't feel like I've been demoted. I feel like it's the assignment. One assignment was Shiloh. Another assignment was United. This assignment is the plan. And to be honest with you, I'm having the best time ever doing what I'm doing now. This is the most I felt like myself, the most I felt like I'm where I'm supposed to be. And so the numbers aren't what they used to be, but the ministry is even greater. Right. So I'm grateful, man, for what's going on. Our churches, we're debt-free. We don't owe mortgages in any place, which allows us to do more ministry.
Yes, sir.
To give more help to our seniors, to our college students. So I feel good about it. Great.
Well, we're going back to music. We're certainly enjoying Bishop Paramore in our midst today, and we'll come back with some more in just a moment.
So many struggles and made some costly mistakes. There were times when I felt I wasn't gonna make it, but I'm glad to say that through it all a way was made. To destroy me, but I'm glad to say, in the midst of it all, I'm safe, and it's all because of grace, your grace.
back with Bishop Paramore of Christ-Centered Church, Barberton and Youngstown. One of the things that I've always appreciated about your ministry, wherever you may be at, is your voice in terms of preaching. It's always refreshing, inspirational, impactful. And one of the things I know you've done, I'm not sure if you have something coming up, is I know your heart for preaching. You've mentioned that early on, but you've even had preaching clinics to try to help those develop their voice or get better. Talk about preaching for a moment. Let's talk about who are your inspirations in terms of preaching that you have, not necessarily patting yourself, but you like, now that's preaching.
So let me say this before I start. I feel weird if you ask me about preaching because you're such a good preacher, great preacher.
Oh man!
And which one is my camera? Is that my
That
camera?
one. Yeah.
For everybody watching me, you need to hear Darius Jeffries before you go to heaven.
Oh shucks.
Go by his church. He's been doing this a long time. He's one of God's best. And I want to say that sincerely. But for me, man, I didn't have your gift or your ability, even when I was your age. I didn't have it. I wasn't the cat people wanted to hear. Can I say cat on here?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
I wasn't the cat people wanted to hear. So I had to really develop into it. I tried to be a hooper. That just didn't quite fit my style. And I had to stick with it. The thing that I always had, though, my father in ministry and my mentors in ministry always challenged me to know what I was talking about, to make sure I had the word. And for me, I worked on the word first, and my style developed as I went. But that word piece I was a stickler for. I made sure I had it to the best of my ability. And I teach, when I teach clinics, that we all know in part. So the job for the preacher is to make sure you got your part right. We ain't gonna know the whole Bible, but whatever we're presenting, to the best of our ability to have it. And I've developed that over the years, and it has worked for me. I am humbled and grateful to God that I've gotten to a point in my life where my phone rings for people to call me to do revivals and come preach. And I don't know that I saw that coming. I knew I wanted it. Preaching idols. My favorite preacher in the world to hear is Dr. C.A.W. Clark, Caesar Clark. I have a whole collection of them.
Wow.
So I just liked the way his mind worked. And I probably admired his gift so much because I could never do it.
Right.
And listening to him, listening to my father in ministry, listening to Dr. I.T. Bradley, listening to Dr. Edgar Fisher, those were the voices, Pastor Jeffrey Dennis. A lot of my preaching heroes are tangible to me. Those are the preachers, Dr. Charles Booth, Bishop Jerome Ross. They're tangible to me. And all of them have different styles that have impacted me. Some for their in-depth scholarship, others for their gift of preaching, and others for just their spirit of worship. But they've all impacted me to possess a piece of it as I would grow, and to hone it into me, into me doing the best I could do. I believe God requires excellence from all of us. The problem with that, for us, we think excellence means competition, that we have to compare. God doesn't want us to be better than anybody. He wants us to be the best version of us.
Yes, sir. Yes,
And that's kind of what I preach and what I teach. And the clinics that I've done, man, I love preaching. So we started them years ago. I'm planning on doing another one this summer. God has blessed me. I have 186 sons and daughters in ministry. 13 of them are senior pastors somewhere. And so I've been very fortunate with that. And I'm looking to pull them back together before the fall comes to do another workshop, but also we use it as a reunion. And we invite everybody to come in. But that's kind of how my voice is shaped over the years. And for me, I think that we don't want to preach labels. You get me? This water. So here's the label, right? This is Fiji water. But that's what we call this. That ain't what it is. If we want to know what it is, we got to read the back of it. And so my preaching philosophy is don't preach the label, preach the ingredients. Turn that text around and see what's on the back of it. And that's what drives the text. That's what drives the interest. God, Dr. I.T. Bradley, God does not need anyone. He says God does not need anyone to talk about it. He needs somebody to yield themselves so he can talk about himself. Dr. I.T. Bradley, and I believe that.
Yeah, so where is your preaching now? Because for me, any given Sunday, it can be pastoral, it can be evangelistic, even if I'm in a series, but where, yeah.
So for me, I have training, two master's degrees in counseling. So my approach to the text and to the preaching moment has a lot to do with the human condition, to see it from that angle. And I don't think, whatever we know, whatever we are, whether it's formal education or whether it's things we learned as we have gone, I believe all of our learning is so that we can attract a certain group of people, right?
Saving sinners and salvaging lives.
That's it. Saving sinners.
I remember it. That's how much I've been a follower. Seriously.
That's all it is, man. Wow. That's unbelievable.
Yeah.
That's all it is. So think about Jesus's crew. They're regular cats, right? When he's dealing with Peter, James, and John, and they catch all them fish, the point was to them, I'm going to make you fishers of men. Don't trip. I'm going to take what you know, and we're going to put it to use. And I'm grateful to God that we don't have to be anybody, just be us. Whether it's formal education, informal education, make sure you're always learning. So my hue is pretty much that people helping profession. That's counselor, social worker. That's where I come from.
Yeah. Now, even talk about that piece because you have the I.T. Bradley Institute, so you're doing a lot. So because there might be a preacher out there who may not be able to, go to this school or go to that school. But talk about give a plug in for that.
Bradley Bible College, named after Dr. I.T. Bradley. One of all of our mentors, if you were in Northeast Ohio.
Yes.
We named the school after him. He's the one that petitioned Pastor Curtis Mentor and myself to drive down to Norris City, Illinois, to go to the International College of Bible Theology and meet Dr. Verda Thompson. They had a school he was familiar with. He said, you need to have a school. So we went down all those years ago. It's been 23 years ago, 24 years ago now. And we bought the curriculum for $15,000. And that's been our parent school for these years. So Bradley Bible College is a satellite school of the International College of Bible Theology. Their work is mainly mission work. So we have to pay our fees and things every year so they can continue to do their mission work. But it's very affordable. Now, here's what I had to decide whether to go public or remain private. I remain private so that I can keep tuition low. Our classes are $500 a class, but in regular school it's $500 a credit.
Right.
And so I keep it low because I want non-traditional students. It's legitimate. We have accreditation through ICBT. But if I were to do financial aid, I would have to raise the price of the classes because they have to be comparable to the other schools.
Right.
And so I decided to stay private. And it's been a blessing, man. all the people that have graduated, my proudest moment is Leroy Jenkins graduated. Leroy Jenkins came to the school at 76 years old. He wrote his letter to get in school by hand on a legal pad.
Wow.
He had never even used a computer.
Wow.
Now he's on the computer. He has graduated. He said, I just want to be able to help my people better. I wouldn't be able to do that because he wouldn't be able to afford it. So it's affordable. I think it's the best kept secret in biblical academia. And I'm very proud of the work that we're doing. Shout out to my entire staff. I can't name them all. They make it possible. I'm the chief lecturer, but we have some other people that do teaching as well. But it's a great, as a matter of fact, at 1:30, I got a call, a bishop I met this past week who wants to get his doctorate. We do all the degrees, associates to doctoral work. And if you don't have a high school diploma, we also have a program that will get you a high school diploma.
Wow. So
I'm very proud of the work. It's probably the best kept secret in the country for biblical academia.
Wow. Yeah. How can we get in? How can we get in contact with?
Go on Facebook and go to the Bradley Bible College page and just follow the information. It'll lead you right to our Dean of Students, or you can go to my page and inbox me and say, hey, man, I want to go to school. And we'll take it from there.
Yeah. So amongst preaching 2 locations, 2 Bible studies, Bible college, theological school, you also have your own reformation called Lifted.
I wouldn't call it my own.
Okay. All right. Don't get it.
But yeah, man, God put it on our heart years ago to start something that would challenge the church to remain biblical. I don't have to tell you, it's a lot of stuff going on. It's a lot of preaching going on that ain't really biblical. And so I wanted to do something for church and for pastors that were serious. Now, what makes us a little different is it is a reformation. It's not a fellowship. It's not a conference. And that word reformation means reforming what we have. Reforming it to what? Not forward, reforming it back to Bible. Because we got a lot of stuff going on. We target churches or we recruit churches that are less than 300. And we try to groom those pastors and those leaders and in a biblical fashion to give them what they need. So that's what we're functioning. And so far it's going good. We're in 8 states now. We have a membership of about 300. And so I'm grateful to God for what he's doing. And I'm grateful to God for you coming to help us.
Yes, sir.
That helps when you get young, prolific, visionary pastors such as yourself to come in and help. So we've been doing that now. It'll be 8 years in October.
Wow.
And I'm very excited about the growth we've experienced. We're over in Ghana now. We're breaking ground to build a community learning center that will also have a sanctuary for church over there. We bought the property. We've been over. We'll break ground sometime this fall. And so I'm just grateful, man. Humbled that God has allowed me to do that kind of work. And again, my secret sauce is great people.
Yes, sir. Sir.
I try to keep people around me more gifted and more intelligent than myself.
Yes, sir.
And that's kind of how it works.
So if a pastor was interested in terms of, the Reformation, how would they go about?
They can call me, and I won't say my number on here, but if you go to my Facebook page, my number's on there.
Okay.
So that's my actual cell number I'm going to answer.
Okay.
And then also liftedreformation.com is the webpage to get all the information. And we don't turn anybody down.
So you're open to men, women,
women,
okay,
whatever denomination. Oh, and it's not a denomination, not denominationally driven. So we have people from every denomination that exists pretty much in Christian denomination existing in the Lifted Reformation. So Pentecostals, Baptists, Methodists, Church of God in Christ, we all there.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Going to music, and then we'll be right back to close out our session today. We're certainly grateful to God for Bishop Paramore. Again, you can go to his platform on Facebook, and he'll answer any and all your questions about the Reformation, as well as the I.T. Bradley Institute as well. We're going to music, and we'll be right back.
I've had so many struggles and made some costly mistakes. There were times when I felt I wasn't gonna make it, but I'm glad to say that through it all, a way was made, and it's all because of grace. The devil tried to kill me. He even tried to steal my joy. He even tried.
I won't turn back. Woo! But for the rest of my life, can everybody just put your hands together like this? Everybody do it together. Come on, y'all, sing for. I will not stray from his love. Come on, y'all, clap your hands and say for. Everybody say, I will serve him, yeah, yeah. Forever. Oh, yeah, yeah.
So you now been pastoring 35 years?
35 years today.
Today. Congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
If you could go back in a time capsule, at least, I won't go back all 35, but at least 20 years ago, so 15 roughly, you're still at United.
Mm-hmm.
What are 3 things that you would tell Bishop Paramore now that could probably save him a little bit? Not necessarily change, but, maybe.
I would
something.
change.
Okay.
Change is cool. I ain't offended. I ain't offended by change. The first thing, Pastor, that I would tell him is your family is more important than the church.
God.
That's what I would tell him. That's the first thing. My wife could have left me every day for about 10 years. Not for anything crazy, but just I put church and ministry and preaching.
Right.
Because we grew up in ministry together. And at one point she had to tell me, Kenny, I ain't asked you for none of this. I wanted to be with you. And it kind of shook me and woke me up. But just being more cognizant of my wife and my kids. I started doing that later as I settled, but it was kind of just me and Jesus, and I was throwing stuff, cars and coats and clothes.
Bags.
Yeah, you get it.
Yeah.
I was doing a lot of that, and I thank God for her patience and her maturity. And the kids, man, I don't feel like, now they don't ever complain, but I feel like I should have taken them on more vacations and to see more stuff because we had the means to do it. But I would take them with me to do a revival.
Yeah, tell them, all right, y'all go, I'm going to preach. Yeah.
And so I don't, now they cool, they've never said anything about it. I feel bad about that. So I would tell the younger version of me to do better with family. I would also tell the younger version of me to do better with money, to save more, to plan more. And again, I don't have a hard life, haven't had a hard one, but a lot of money has passed through my hands over the years of just being fortunate and people sewing into me. And you don't have to you don't need 3 cars or 4 cars. 1 is cool. You know,
Right.
just that, you know what I mean? Just that kind.
Yeah. Just because you can, that don't mean you should.
Why are you getting glasses to match every suit?
Yeah.
What is that about?
Yeah.
So that just to slow down and talk to him about that. And the other thing is to be more deliberate about time. I would tell him to be more deliberate about time. I'll be 60 in August, and if I live to be 100, I got more time behind me than I do in front of me, and I should have I could have did some more stuff with the time. Now that's hindsight.
Right.
People might look at me now and say, "What else you gonna do, man?"
Right.
But I just feel like I let some portions of time.
Yeah.
The biggest thing I would tell him to do is do not ever preach Mother's Day. Go home and sit with your mom in church. That's one of my biggest. Go sit with your mom in church and be her son every Mother's Day.
Wow.
She never complained about it. But when they're gone, they're gone. And I wish I would have went to Tabernacle Baptist Church and just slid into the pew next to her and sat with her every Mother's Day. I would do that different for sure.
Man, I'm glad this is after Mother's Day, else I'd be in here like really crying for real. Yeah, because yeah. Okay, I'm gonna move off of that one. We close with this. Some fun facts about you. Your favorite color?
Favorite color is red.
Really?
Has been for a long time, and I almost never wear it. I don't have too many things, but my favorite color is red.
Favorite food?
Favorite food? Ham, cheeseburger, and fries.
You will do it.
I can eat
everywhere.
it every day.
Everywhere.
Give me a cheeseburger and fries. When we go, hey, give me a burger.
Yep. Or a grilled cheese sandwich. That's what it's going to be. I'm like, that's what you want today?
I'm really
In closing, 3 things when you think of yourself, describe yourself in 3 words.
Flawed, faithful, and a friend.
And a friend. He truly is that. He truly is that.
That's it.
Thank you so much, Bishop Paramore. Again, he is a personal friend of mine. Thank you for even consenting to come for the road to 30. I'll be preaching 30 years, and it is because of persons like yourself that I have not given up, that I'm just feel like I'm just getting started preaching.
You are, man.
And so for you, keep preaching, because even if I can't get there, I'm looking online, and it's always encouraging to hear you.
Thank you so much.